vote stems from a long simmering battle over the failed Fast and Furious gun-running sting. The Oversight Committee claims Eric Holder is withholding documents, obstructing a full investigation of Fast and Furious, and that's not all.
No, the Attorney General claims the Justice Department has cooperated with the investigation by handing over thousands of documents. Congressman Issa, though, is not satisfied with Holder's testimony. Congressman Issa joins us now from our Fox newsroom. Congressman Issa, I'm guessing that you would not schedule this vote if you didn't think you could win. Do you expect that the Attorney General will be held in contempt of Congress?
Well, John, it's not about winning or losing. It's about getting the discovery that Brian Terry's family, the Border Patrol agent that was killed with these weapons, deserve after 18 months since he was shot dead in Arizona. Ultimately, though, we've been patient. The Speaker of the House personally intervened in a pretty unprecedented letter to try to get the cooperation. And just last week, on Thursday, Eric Holder made it clear that he has over 140,000 documents, but he continues to talk about the 7,000 he gave to us. Well, on May 18th, the Speaker asked for specific areas, the ones that would let us know, which they haven't given us, who was responsible for lying to Congress and the American people on February 4th of 2011, and more importantly, who was responsible for approving Fast and Furious. And as he learned, we have wiretaps, we've read them, we know some of the people who signed off on these tactics. We'd like to know all of them, because ultimately those are the people, just like the GSA scandal, just like the Secret Service scandal, those are the people who shouldn't be in government.
The White House, the Justice Department, could use executive privilege to block the release of this documents, but it's my understanding they have not cited it so far.
But they haven't cited it because they don't have it. Executive privilege is the privilege of discussions between, in consultation with the President, deciding how you're going to lie to Congress, and when you discover that you've given false statements to Congress and they're catching up on figuring out that what you said isn't true, then figuring out if and or when and how you're going to disclose. That's not covered by executive privilege. I think Watergate certainly proves that cover-ups are never covered by executive privilege, so only the consultation with the President.
You're saying they have no good reason to withhold the documents?
They have no good reason to hold it. We've been very careful. We don't want things that are related to ongoing investigations. We don't want anything that would compromise the prosecution of the people responsible. But remember, 2,000 weapons plus went into the hands of the cartel, and they went repeatedly under the eyes of the ATF and Justice Department officials, and ultimately the approvals for that were all signed in Washington.
The testimony has gotten very testy when the Attorney General was in front of your committee recently. I want to play our viewers a clip and ask you some questions on the backside.
Of course.
Have you and your attorneys produced internally the materials responsive to the subpoenas?
We believe that we have responded to the subpoena.
No, Mr. Attorney General, you're not a good witness. A good witness answers the question asked. So let's go back again.
Has this become personal?
No, but when you only have 5 minutes, you can't let the Attorney General talk about how many documents they looked through in the 7,600 that they gave you. You have to get them to answer the question. In this case, have you produced somewhere the documents responsive that you're withholding? Ultimately, we got the answer, which is yes. He has about 140,000 documents, of which they've given us about 7,600, and we've asked for a log of those documents so that we could narrow the discovery or in some other way cooperate, and we're not getting it. And this is the reason that the Speaker of the House felt that it was time to go forward. Remember, we were convinced as a committee more than a month ago. The Speaker of the House and the Leader Cantor, they asked us to give time and ultimately to prove it. We've proven it. We've given time. The Speaker made an unprecedented personal appeal in a letter on May 18th and got nothing. So it's the reason we're going forward.
Do you think that scheduling the vote will motivate the Justice Department to release what you're looking for?
We're absolutely hopeful that they'll see that we're serious, that all we want is the discovery the American people deserve and that Brian Terry's family deserves. And remember, these votes are not unprecedented either. Chairman Waxman did them in 2007, 2008. When he was looking into the then Bush administration. But ultimately, it's not about going to contempt. It's about getting cooperation in legitimate discovery. And in this case, they're not asserting privilege. They're simply not giving the documents the American people deserve.
Congressman Darrell Issa is chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Congressman, thanks for taking the time.